Good evening, Ben Mankiewicz with you on a TCM Sunday night. Thanks so much for watching. New York City and the movies go back to a time before there even was a Hollywood, at least not what we mean when we say Hollywood. The first studio, built by Thomas Edison, was just across the river from the city in West Orange, New Jersey. As New York boomed, early movie makers were drawn to its bustling crowds, its busy streets. The city quickly became a symbol of sophistication as the sound era began, then an urban jungle of hard-nosed businessmen and desperate characters in the post-war years. By the 1970s, though, New York's fortunes had taken a turn for the worse, with vacant and dilapidated buildings dominating the landscape of a city facing bankruptcy. The city became a hotbed of crime, decadence, and decay. Hollywood made plenty of movies that buttressed that image. Ahead tonight, a double feature not of a distressed New York in the 70s, but rather two dystopian movies set in a New York of the future, both influenced by the seedy, deteriorating image of the city in the 70s. In a couple of hours, we'll have director John Carpenter's distressing 1981 look at a New York of the future, Escape from New York, set in 1997. But we begin with a science fiction classic, one of the defining films of that downbeat era, set 50 years into the future, from MGM in 1973, Soylent Green. The year here is 2022. Charlton Heston stars as a New York police officer not concerned with serving the public. His focus is surviving. He's like a lot of New Yorkers eking out a living in a completely run-down, massively overcrowded city. He has a roommate played by Edward G. Robinson in his final screen role. Robinson is Heston's link to a better era, reminiscing about the past, a time that seems like a different world, with fresh food, libraries full of books, and common decency. With food sources depleted in 2022, the population now takes sustenance in Soylent Green, a mysterious, highly processed food produced by the Soylent Corporation. The world of Soylent Green is a hot mess, quite literally. Earth, bursting at its seams with too many people, has been devastated by man-made ecological disasters. Director Richard Fleischer had become increasingly concerned about the direction of the world. Charlton Heston, certainly nobody's idea of a tree-hugging movie star, shared Fleischer's alarm over the planet's exploding population. Heston felt it was, quote, the gravest problem the world faces. He also said this would be the only time he would appear in a so-called message movie. It's a pretty powerful message. Here it is, from 1973, Soylent Green. Charlton Heston said Soylent Green was one of the best movies he ever made. Primarily, he said, because of Eddie. Eddie is Edward G. Robinson, one of the most unique and talented movie stars Hollywood ever produced. Soylent Green was not the first time Robinson and Heston worked together. Previously, they co-starred in the 1956 biblical epic The Ten Commandments. A decade later, they very nearly worked together on Planet of the Apes. Robinson even did a test in makeup as Dr. Zaius. Ultimately, Robinson didn't make Planet of the Apes. The cumbersome makeup process was a prime reason. Robinson shared Heston's enthusiasm for Soylent Green's story. After reading the script, Robinson held it up and announced to his wife, "This is the picture I want to make because it's about something." Robinson was nearly deaf at the time. He was also dying of cancer while making the film. All of that makes his final scene as Saul even more emotionally devastating. Edward G. Robinson died just under 2 weeks after Soylent Green wrapped shooting. 2 months later, his wife accepted a special Academy Award honoring his brilliant and lengthy career. Coming up, New York is now a prison, and Kurt Russell must brave its horrors to rescue a kidnapped president. From 1981, Escape from New York is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Escape from New York. Then A Silent Sunday with Charlie Chase. And later, The White Balloon. Pop goes TCM tonight.